Hello everyone, welcome to MK304. The purpose of this video is to illustrate briefly for you a bit of dialogue as to what you might expect to see with the week 1 virtual lab, as well as the application activity. So let's begin. In the week 1 MK304 folder, you'll notice that there is a week 1 virtual lab. The purpose of the virtual labs for us in this course are primarily designed to give us a little bit of an exposure to preparation, if you will, for how we might want to use technology or just some different insights into more of the GIS side of things for our weekly content. So we could think of the virtual labs as more preparation, leading us to greater insight, taking us into our application activity. So for this week, we're thinking primarily of developing a consumer or customer profile that relates to our community forum and some of the trends, or we call them fads too, but I like to think of products or things of that nature in terms of trends, because everything goes through trends. So based on what you were chatting about in your community forum, carry that trend over and examine or think about these 4 bullet points or questions here, namely, what is the trend you noticed, and what are some questions, or I like to think of these as profiles. Who would be somebody that would be into that fad, if you will, and based on some of the readings and whatnot. And how did you arrive at that determination for maybe that profile? And so this is just mainly thought-provoking based on the community forum. So nothing you need to submit for this. Well, let's go ahead and next take a look at that of our application activity. And our application activity is an opportunity purely for you to explore data in terms of demographics and how it relates to really fundamental geographies. We'll take a look, I recommend for this lab, states or counties. Those would be ideal for this application activity. So for this, I would like to step you through briefly some of those steps that you'll see in our week 1 application activity. So in order to engage the application activity, let's go to the US Census Bureau website, which is just going to be about exploring census data. And with that, you'll see that we have a number of kind of 1, 2, and 3. So kind of a 3-step process here. You'll notice that there are some directions embedded. And in my video, I'll loosely be taking you through some of the processes here, but certainly you can trailblaze on your own as well. That's okay. So go ahead and select the Explore Census Data link. And once you do that, you will see a tab appear for you that looks like this, or it might look something similar. And I should note to that end, depending on your browser type or version, your setup might look slightly different, but in general, you should still see the same information in some manner. So in the search option here for census data, go ahead and type in their demographics. Because in this course, we're going to be centralizing on consumers and their behavior, and a lot of that stems to their composition. In other words, who are they? And we want to know where are they. So understanding general demographics is pretty important. So let's go ahead and select search or return or enter. And you'll notice that this will take us into some tables, or depending on however you got into the site here, you might see something slightly different, but we still want to be searching for demographics. And the next thing I would encourage people to do is select the Maps tab. Again, this may be on one side of the screen or the other for you, but nevertheless select Maps. So we should have demographics and Maps. Okay, now that we are in our exploratory dashboard, if you will, you notice a few things: that our selection map is active in our table of contents on the left. This is called our table of contents. And you'll notice that we have some other options up here on the top of our dashboard, such as select. So we can use this to select a whole selection area, or to clear our selection, or we also have base maps. So you certainly can tinker around with this as well. I'm going to select a street map just for cosmetic purposes here. And then you'll notice, more importantly, up on the top, for our geography selected, we have a state that's selected right now, but you'll see that there are a number of these different options. And for this exercise, I would encourage you to stay with either a state or a county. And right now I'm going to select a county. That way I can zoom into maybe Minnesota or an area you grew up in, and without getting too granular down into the weeds there, we want to stay up at the county or state level. You also notice that there is a year drop-down menu here as well, where you can simply select a change of a different year, and that will again give you demographics based on whatever year you have selected here. So feel free to play around with this. This is just an exploratory activity, so there's not really a super right or wrong answer for this as much as it is for you to explore the demographics based on that trend that you were highlighting in your discussion forum this week. So with that being said, to navigate inside of your map arena here, you can either use the zoom in or zoom out tools located on your mapping window, or I prefer to simply use my mouse roller. If you have that, with my mouse roller, I'm just going to roll forward and backwards. You can see backwards will roll out or zoom out, and rolling forward will zoom in. So apologize if that's pretty elementary, but never quite sure where people are in their background. So with that being said, you can zoom in, zoom out, and you'll see the various counties appear. Now, if you want to pan, which means basically move your view, simply left click and hold down and release. Left click, hold down and release to pan around your map. Now to select, let's say if you were interested in Hennepin County here, I'm going to explore the demographics. You'll notice that I have my geography set at county. I'm just going to left click on Hennepin. And you notice that there is a new box that appears that provides a Hennepin County profile. Simply left click on that profile. And what this will do for us, will share with us some general information: total population, median household income, just general employment information, housing, bachelor's degree or higher or lower, whatever that is. So this is just purely information on business and economy, health. So based on what you discussed in your trend, in your discussion forum, you'll want to see if you can find who might be some people that could be, part of that trend, or if you had a product or a service or something to that effect, whatever it was you chatted about in your discussion, and explore that. You may want to find, maybe it's percentages of people that maybe were kind of in that age range. So again, this is all exploratory based on what you discussed. I'm going to return to my Maps tab next. To deselect Hennepin County, if you wanted to compare something in Hennepin County to a county in Florida or California or Texas or something like that, you can select Clear Geography. Also, if you're interested in exploring maybe how Hennepin County has changed, we can repeat the process that we just did, except utilize or select a different date. So if you're interested in selecting more of a national type of an approach for your trend or fad, we can simply select our state option up here, and maybe you want to research a little bit on the Minnesota state profile and compare that to Florida or Texas or Virginia or California, and see how some of those demographics may have changed a little bit over time, and use it to enhance a bit of your discussion from your forum. So again, purely just an exploratory type of an approach here to engage you with the geographies and demographics and how that might tie back into your discussion forum. But as always, if you have any questions on this or something's not working out for you, please reach out and let me know. I'll be happy to set up a custom private session here with you to step you through anything that you might be having trouble with. So with that, hope you have a great week, and we'll see you all again here next week. Take care.